Google Pixelbook Go, our honest review. Google Pixelbook Go has made Google's otherwise pricey product line just a bit more accessible to consumers. This makes it a welcome addition to the roster, especially for budget-minded users who cannot afford Google Pixelbook's premium price. However, to keep its price relatively low, certain sacrifices need to be made. Google Pixelbook Go is missing out on the more premium features like biometric login. It's not exactly the cheapest Chromebook on the market either. Plus, while its base configuration is affordable, the higher you climb up the specs ladder, the more expensive it gets, making it less so a great deal. With such compromises, is the Google Pixelbook Go even worth taking a look? It's not without its merit. It boasts a 1080p webcam, great battery life, and a pretty good keyboard. And they're more than enough to convince those looking to move on from their tablets or dated laptops. It's still the most affordable way into the Google product line. Even if those with the dough will still find the flagship Pixelbook to be their go-to option, for many, the Go is the ideal choice. Design. The Google Pixelbook Go features a metal design. Weighing just over 1 kilogram, it is a portable machine. The keyboard feels great for typing. The Google Pixelbook Go is a gloriously designed laptop, but not in the way that most others are. It isn't a flashy device, and in fact is quite the opposite. It doesn't go overboard with sharp lines, swaths of metal, and delicate finishes. Instead, it's basic, but basic in a thoroughly thought out manner. The metal body has a grippy finish, and the bottom has a slightly odd washboard-ridged pattern that keeps it very firmly set on the table. There's minimal branding, with only a single G on the lid. My very first laptop was a 2008 black MacBook, and this Pixelbook Go brings back memories of that beautiful machine thanks to the matte black color scheme and rounded finish. There's also a pink version available, but at the time of review, it's not for sale in the UK. The majority of Chromebooks sport a plastic finish, and even those made out of metal are fairly dull. As such, it's nice to have the option of a device that's more enticing. Of course, the Pixelbook Go is priced higher than your run-of-the-mill plastic-clad Chromebook. It's light, weighing in at just over a kilo. It's slim and feels supremely well built. The lid can be lifted open with a single finger, a small quirk but one that gives the air of a high-end device. 2 USB-C ports sit on either side of the Pixelbook Go, and while both offer support for charging, they're not exactly Thunderbolt 3 ports. A headphone jack is also present, but that's it. Don't expect a USB-A port or even a micro SD card slot to expand the base 64 GB of storage. This feels a little tight, especially since micro SD expansion is commonplace on other Chrome OS machines. The keyboard is a huge winner though. It displays plenty of travel and a smooth feel when you're clacking away. There are plenty of room between keys, even though it's a fairly compact machine. The keys themselves are pretty quiet, even when you're typing at high speed. And using the overly loud butterfly keys on a MacBook Pro for a few years, this change is certainly welcome. Less impressive about the keyboard is some of the decisions over key placement. Bizarrely, there's a menu button in the position you normally find caps lock, for instance, which takes some getting used to. You'll also find a key to bring the Google Assistant to life. Below the keyboard, you'll find a responsive, good-sized trackpad with surprisingly decent speakers on either side. Google Pixelbook Go displays. The Pixelbook Go has a 13.3-inch LCD touchscreen display. The screen has a 16:9 aspect ratio, and the Intel Core M3 and i5 models feature 1920 by 1080 resolution. The Intel Core i7 model has a 4K Ultra HD molecular display with a resolution of 3040 by 2160. The Pixelbook Go with Intel Core M3 processor is $650. Models with the Intel Core i5 processor range from $849 to $999, and the model with the Intel Core i7 processor is $1,400. Professional reviews of this laptop's 1080p display note that the picture is quite clear and the colors are bright. They also say that the screen resolution adjusts well to different surroundings, whether you're in a dimly lit room or in front of a sunny window. However, professional reviews of the ultra-high definition model running the Intel Core i7 processor say it should have a higher quality picture, with more and brighter colors. As a result, many reviewers don't recommend the higher priced model. The Pixelbook Go is available in a number of versions that range drastically in price from £629 to £629. £629 remains fairly pricey for a Chromebook, while the top option seems rather ridiculous when you're essentially getting the same capabilities. For £629, you get an Intel Core M3 8th Gen, 8GB of RAM, and 64GB of storage. For £829, you still get 8GB of RAM, but with an Intel Core i5 8th Gen at the helm and 128GB of storage. For £949, you just get the previous model, but with 16GB of RAM. And for £1329, you get an Intel Core i7, 16GB of RAM, 256GB of storage, and a 4K display. I'd instantly discount the update model. I couldn't recommend anyone spend that much on a Chromebook. The model in the mid-tier Core i5 model at £829, and even that feels somewhat overpriced. Performance is decent, however, not that I expect anything less from a Chromebook with these specs. I haven't had the opportunity to put the Core M3 model through its paces, but instant thoughts are that £629 feels like a much better price for such a machine. I'm a heavy Chrome user, and if you're familiar with Google's browser, you'll be well aware that with numerous tabs open, with audio or video in the background, even the snappiest of laptops can start to chug. I've had a fairly lag-free experience using the Pixel Go. Even with upwards of 20 tabs open and a 1080p YouTube video playing, it feels snappy. Chrome OS has evolved slightly over the past few years and is a little less restrictive. While you still can't run traditional Windows apps, you can download Android apps on the Play Store to use offline. This is great in theory, expanding the capability of the machine. However, it's a buggy workaround that leaves some apps working fine but others not so much. Apps on my phone that I use on a daily basis, such as Spotify and Pocket Casts, work perfectly. Open Instagram though, and it takes over the entire display, or Audible, which just doesn't load. It's this frustration that muddies the experience and makes you feel like you're using an unfinished product. Google Pixelbook Go, ports and audio. The Pixelbook Go has dual speakers and 2 microphones. Professional reviews of the sound quality are mixed. However, they do like that the speakers are front firing rather than bottom firing. This Chromebook also comes equipped with 2 USB-C ports for charging and display, and a 3.5mm headphone jack. That's a typical number of USB-C ports for a Chromebook, although there's no USB-A port. Similar Chromebooks, like the HP Envy, have more ports, including an SD card reader slot, and competing MacBooks have a Thunderbolt 4 ports. That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching.